What is up, you guys? Welcome back to America. If you are new here, hey, I am so sorry. Today I'm going to be talking on Black Lives Matter, and I know what you might be thinking. Who are you to be talking about Black Lives Matter? But who aren't I to be talking about it? I think some of the best advice I have received from my friends is that this needs to be on all platforms, and if you do have a platform and if you do have an audience, you can make an impact. I also want to preface a few things that I have not, I will not, and I do not know what it feels like to be a Black person. I do not, will not, and have not ever gone through those experiences, but I come here with empathy and I'm listening. I'd also like to say that it is not the responsibility of the Black community, our Black friends, our Black coworkers, our classmates. It's not their responsibility to educate us. I was lucky enough to reach out to my Black friends and ask them how they are feeling and what I should be doing and how to do that. And initially it was a great gesture, and I'm so blessed that they were open with me and they exhausted their energy with me. But they're tired and they're exhausted, and they've been living this their entire life. And it's been going on for centuries, so it really is our job to educate ourselves and read these books that are being recommended, listen to these podcasts that are being recommended, watch the Netflix shows that are being recommended. I've taken it up on myself to watch 13th, The Hate U Give, and going forward I will continue to read, listen, educate, and spread my message to help amplify Black voices, because at the end of the day, that is who needs to be heard. Today I'm going to be talking about things that you can do to help Black Lives Matter and to keep the conversation going, and also to address any of my subscribers and of course the Black community, to say that I hear you, I see you, I am with you, and I know you were so tired of hearing that exact phrase, but I just wanted to let it be known. So today I'm going to be diving into things that we can do, and let's all say it together. George Floyd. Say it yet. George Floyd. Okay. George Floyd, as you all know, died in the hands of a white cop. That is one of many, many names that have unfortunately died to this situation, which is what is bringing about these protests that are all going on right now across America and even kind of spreading throughout the world. So there are a few things we're going to touch on, which are things that we can be doing, especially as white people. And then also what I saw at the Black Lives Matter protest with my own eyes. Cameron and I did go to the Black Lives Matter protest on Saturday in Austin, and there are some things that the media is not showing, and I didn't know that. And so I'm going to identify my white privilege and apologize, and I'm going to make a change by using this video and my YouTube platform to do so. I think a lot of people right now are confused on what they should be doing, and when is it enough, and when is it not enough, and when is it overbearing. This is not political, this is human rights. And this is not a war against the police, this is a war against racism that has existed in this country since it was founded. And I think if you are a white person, it is important that you start identifying your white privilege, and if you don't want to have these uncomfortable conversations, that means you need to have them even more so. So with that being said, specifically what you actually can do right now is you can email the Minnesota Police Department and tell them that you want the 4 officers that killed George Floyd behind bars. The easiest way to do this is there is a tiny URL link that I will put down in the description box, and it should open up an email draft that you can then go in and just replace your name and your state and city, and then sign your name at the very bottom as well. So all you have to do, send it, it sends it off with everything already filled out for you. So if the link is not working down below, all you have to do is go to my Instagram at @theamandajewel. I have a Black Lives Matter highlight. Literally, if you just go to this story and swipe up, it opens up an entire email for you to send. All you have to do is come right here and change your name, city and state, name, and send, and it is that easy. Literally takes you less time than it took me to explain that to you. And that is a direct action that you can do to implement change. Another thing is to sign the petitions. I will link a petition down below, and that should be easy enough to just click, sign it, and you can also sign 10 others that they recommend you from change.org that will help with Black Lives Matter. But say you are still on your phone, literally all you have to do again, open up the Black Lives Matter story highlight, Justice for George Floyd, swipe up. All you have to do is sign the petition, and ta-da, little to no effort. And they're all things that you should have already done, but if you didn't, it's okay, and I gave you those resources and you need to go do them right now. Other ways to help is to donate. So there are a lot of organizations right now, especially Black Lives Matter itself, that are taking donations to help people with bonds, bailouts from the protests, and of course everything that is going on right now. So definitely, if you have the means to do so, please donate. And I'm going to donate right now. So there's also a master link that links all of the resources where you can donate, things to learn, like look how long this is, of everything that you can do to help the initiative of Black Lives Matter. And if you don't have money to donate, you can stream this YouTube video, and without skipping the ads, all of the ad revenue will go towards Black Lives Matter, and I will also link that down below. It is a video full of Black music, art, etc. that is all put together, and the ad revenue will go to Black Lives Matter. You can text Floyd in all caps to 55156, and it will also send you a petition that you can sign. These were just a few ways that you can help, but what's really going to help is if you start within. You need to start self-reflecting on how you, as a white or non-Black POC, have been contributing to racism or the oppression of Black people, and what you need to do going forward to change things within your own circle, within yourself, and within your future. I challenge white people to call out racism in their family, because that's where it's going to impact change, is when you are head on with racists. And unfortunately, I know a lot of us have conservative family that you just need to talk to, okay? And it's really unfortunate that we all have to sit here and tell these white people to talk to their family and talk to their friends and explain why this matters for everyone. And it's heart-wrenching to think that we are in 2020, but we are still facing the same problems that we were during the civil rights movement in the 60s. If you are educating yourself by watching some of these documentaries, it is scary and insane how specific the details are to being similar to what we're going through right now. And a lot of it has to do with the criminalization of protesters and making protesters seem like the bad guys. And of course, right now, people are associating the protesters with the looting that's going on, but the looting is separate from the protesters. Like, those are thieves, those are looters, those are people taking advantage of this movement for their own personal gain, and that is not Black Lives Matter. And I think this needs to be said, that talking on my experience from the protests and what I saw in Austin, Texas, and just being seen in Texas, it's really hard to talk about, and that's why we have to talk about it. Okay, here we go. All of this chaos that you're being seen on the media and your news and your parents are concerned about, they're seeing the violence, they are seeing the chaos, but they are not seeing that most of the time it is the white people. And I was at the protest seeing people throw water bottles, they were disrespecting cops, like screaming just vulgar things in a cop's face, and they were white people. Every time I saw someone get arrested and dragged out of the crowd or away from whatever the situation was that was chaotic, was a white person. And it's not fair, because if you're supposed to be peacefully protesting, but you're doing these things and you're enticing the police to use force, these were what was causing the police to throw tear gas, to shoot rubber bullets. I felt like I was in a war zone. And all that to be said, if you are a white person at a protest, your job is to protect your Black people. It is to put your bodies in front of them. It is to peacefully protest the movement. And that's not what the movement is for. And it's really giving Black Lives Matter a negative connotation in the media, when your family is not seeing that a lot of the chaos is being instigated by white people. And so please make it your job to stand with the movement peacefully and interject when you see a person of color being targeted. This is a very crazy time in the world, not to do with the Black Lives Matter specifically, just a pandemic on top of that. So with that being said as well, if you are going to protest, please make sure that you are wearing the right safety material. Wear a mask, not only for the coronavirus protection, but also the concealing your identity. Make sure you're bringing water and milk to stay hydrated, milk for the tear gas. And I think this conversation just needs to be had. So anytime that you are with a group of friends and someone says something that is not okay, does something that is not okay, you're the one that needs to stop it. Now, more than ever, the Black community needs more allies, and doing some of the things that I mentioned in this will help you, but more importantly, going forward, continuing to educate yourself, continuing to talk out, continuing to donate, continuing to call out those racist family members, continuing to have these uncomfortable conversations, and most importantly, reach out to your Black friends and Black creators and people that you love that are in the Black community, because this is a very, very overwhelming time. And I think a lot of white people are saying like, oh, like, why can't things go back to normal, or like, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed, like, I want Instagram like to be normal again. But what is normal? And more importantly, like, don't see this as a social media challenge, as just a social media movement. Like, this is a social movement. Like, these are things that are supposed to elicit change. And so if you are thinking of it as, oh, I just can't post what I want to post, that's not what's trying to be communicated here. What's trying to be communicated here is the overdue social equality based on the color of the skin. George Floyd and many others have been killed based on the color of their skin, and that's not okay. Our president, we need a new one. So on top of everything I've already said, and of course this is just the bare minimum, guys, like, this is not a how to be a perfect ally or how to deal with the racism. This is things to start your lifelong journey to continuing to strengthen your allyship to help the Black community when they need us the most. I hope this video was not all over the place, everything I've mentioned, and also to continue sharing on my platforms. And so I really hope that you guys are able to easily sign the petitions, donate down below, email the Minnesota Police Department. Don't forget to be supporting Black creators and buy from Black owned businesses. If there's anything I missed, please, please, please comment it down below. But just remember that this starts with you, and to continue to try to amplify these Black voices and Black business owners and the struggles, and hopefully impact change. Please, please register to vote. All of these efforts are extremely important, but voting is one of the strongest that can actually change from within. So if you don't know how to vote, you can text VOTER to 26797. and it will give you a step-by-step on how to register to vote where you are from. Please do all that you can and continue to have these conversations. I will be having a podcast episode come out with my friend Yoki, and we'll be sitting down having that uncomfortable conversation, and I bless her soul for wanting to do that with me, but I'm excited to share that with you guys. Well, I will see you all in my next video. I wanted to get this video out before anything else. My future uploads will probably be from previously in May, but this is really heavy on my heart, and I'm glad I was able to keep a full composure. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.